Hello dear students, welcome back in English class. Today in this video we are going to do Animals poem which was written by Walt Whitman. So when we talk about Walt Whitman was born in 1819 and died in 1892. He is a major figure in the early American poetry and he broke the tradition of rhymed and metrical poetry. He was famous for writing a revolutionary new kind of poetry which was in free verse. The poem Animals is from his work Song of Myself in Leaves of Grass. When we talk about the introduction of this poetry, so we have seen this in the last video also that Walt Whitman has shown the comparison between human beings and animals in his poem. He has pointed out the evils present inside the human brain which he thinks animals don't have, and that is why he thinks that the animals are much better than human beings. So here you can read the song, the introduction of this poem and the Song of Myself and all that. So we will start directly the explanation of this. And see, the first two lines of the poems are, I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and look at them long and long. So first, dear students, I'll advise you to keep pencil in your hand so that you can note down the new words here and the literary devices which I will explain you here. And I will post one more video separately for poetic devices, but here too I will tell you which poetic device is used. So I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and look at them long and long. So here, dear students, placid means calm, peaceful, and contained means which keep up control, right? So here in these two lines, the poet says that he wants to live in the world of animals, and here we can say that the poet finds the world of animal better than human beings because he says that he finds animal more peaceful than humans. He says so because animals are not running after worldly things like human beings. And they are calm and have no greed for worldly things or any kind of achievements, and they are self-contained means they are happy with the life and never interfere in the lives of others. Humans have a habit of interfering in the lives of others. So the poet thinks that animals are better than humans for being calm and not interfering in the matters of others. So the poet further says that these are the reasons why he stands still and looks at the animals for a very long time. So dear students, if here we will talk about the literary devices, so it is what? It is repetition is being used here because this long and long, this word is being used here, that is repeated. So this is what? Long is word repeated here, so this is repetition. And when I'll talk about anaphora in the starting of the line, both of the lines which are consecutive, they are starting with the same word, that is what? I. So here in these two lines we have got two poetic devices. Number one is anaphora and number two is long and long, means the same word is being repeated, so that is what? Repetition. Okay. So let's see next two lines now. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. Okay. So here they do not sweat and whine. Whine means what? Whine is what? Cry. And one word is this sin also. So sin is what? The wrongdoings. Paap we can say, right? So here the poet says that unlike humans, animals don't complain for any misery. They never cry out loud like humans do to show what they have lost and what they have gained. Like if human being is living in the materialistic world and they are only just running to make the money only, whatever they got they are just measuring that with money also. Clear? So but animals are not doing that, right? They never cry. They never cry that what we have lost or what we have got. So they do not shout over that, right? So they never cry out loud like humans to show that what they have lost. They do not awake in the dark and weep for their sins, and they never stay awake in the night crying in the repentance for their wrongdoings, their sins, what they have done. So have you seen any animal crying that this I have done wrong, or this I have done wrong, this I have done very good, or this I have purchased for lot of money and this and that? So that is wrong. We haven't seen that. But you know, if we will do the comparison with human being, so they are just doing this. They are just showing off their power, their money and all the things. If you will talk about here the literary devices once again, so both of the lines here, they are also starting with they do. So if both means the lines are getting started with the same words or the group of words, so that is what anaphora once again. Clear? And one more thing I want to tell you, they do not sweat and whine. They do not sweat and whine. Whine means what I told you, that means cry. They sweat and whine here refer to the cries and the complaints of human beings. So here you can see they sweat and whine. There is sweat and whine. They are a metaphor, right? Because here the poet is doing the comparison with that. So sweat means the cries and whine means complaints. Okay. So these two poetic devices you have to note down in these two lines. If we'll talk about the next two lines, they do not lie awake in the dark. This we have done. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with. The mania of owing things. So here, if we'll see this word demented, right? So this demented means what? Mad or disturbed. So here in this poem, in these lines, the poet is saying that earlier we have read that the poet is saying that animals, they do not awake in the night, they do not cry for the repentance, right? Repentance and all that. So this means here poet wants to say that the animals are different from the human beings because they do not show anger. They do not show anger or grief if something wrong happens with them. So he further says they do not make the sick discussion and the duty of God. So he further says the animals are very truthful because they never boast of their good deeds done in the name of God. He says so because most of the human beings do this and they try to show their good deeds and religiousness to others, right? They boast. I went to this temple, I did this, I did the charity of this much money and that much money. So they keep on boasting about it. But animals do not show, their religiousness at the name of God. So they do not do in order to gain popularity among the fellows. Here we human being, but the animals, they do not think about that. So the poet thinks that animals never irritate him by doing such things just to gain some praise from their fellow people. He feels that the animals are not dissatisfied like humans and they stay happy with whatever they have. They never run behind worldly things. They never try to possess things of comfort or luxury. He says that no one of them is man behind owing the worldly things. Okay, so they do not show off for anything and they do not cry if they are not having the things which they want to have, right? So that's the difference between animals and human being. Okay, so next if we will talk about the next lines, not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. No one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth, right? So here kneels means what? Kneels means to bow down, to sit down, means jhukna. Kneels means bow down. And one more word you will see here. So not one kneels to another, nor to hit his kinds. Lived thousands of years ago, not one irrespectable or unhappy over the whole earth. So here we will say that the poet is telling us that he has never seen any animal showing his devotion to anyone by bowing down in front of the person, right? So they never do so even for their ancestors also. But we human being, we cry for our ancestors, because what happened actually practically, the persons, the elders who are alive, we do not cry for them, but we cry for them after their death. We do not take care when they are alive, right? But we cry for them after their death. So that is what. And have you seen any animal who was showing devotion to anyone? No, never. So they never do so even for their ancestors, and they do not show off for God, for the sake of God they are doing this and that, right? So they do not show devotion towards God like humans. No one among them is more respectable or important as we have in human society, right? So in human beings, rich people, what generally do? They are given more importance, and they are treated with more respect as compared to the poor. But here in the society of animals, that's no rich, no one is rich and no one is poor. So they show their relations to me and I accept them. They bring me tokens of myself. They evince them plainly in their possession. Clear? So here evince means what? To show, to reveal. Clear? And possession means what? Possession is what? That ownership of something. And token word is here. What? Token is here this word is signifies the qualities. So what the poet wants to say here, that he, like in the last line, he tells us that there is a comparison between poor and rich and all that, but in the society of animals they never do this such type of comparison. No one is rich, no one is poor. So they never give more or less importance to any other animal, he is saying here, and everyone in the animal world is so happy. They are not like human beings who finds themselves the happiest or the saddest person on the earth. And here also the further in the further lines, the poet wants to say that animals are more honest in showing their relations with other animals also. Here if he wants to say that animals use other animals as their food, and they never try to hide this. Whatever they do, their sins, their good deeds, their bad deeds, they do it nicely. They do not try to show off. They do not try to hide anything. But whereas human beings show that they have a nice and friendly relation with others. But what happens generally, our friends are our the biggest and the greatest enemies. We have noticed this. So though the reality is opposite in the mankind, in the human, that they try to show their relation is very nice and very friendly, but actually it is not so. So the poet says that he accepts the fact that animals are true towards showing their relation with other animals. So here if we will talk about the literary devices in these lines, so the inner qualities of the human beings are referred to as tokens. So this word token is being used as metaphor here. As I told you, that token word is showing the qualities, right? So this token word is showing the literary devices which is used by the poet to show the inner qualities of the human being, and that's why it has given token. So it's a comparison without as and like. So in the next line, the poet is saying that I wonder where they get those tokens. Next is, did I pass the way huge times ago and negligently drop them? So here in this first line, I wonder where they get those tokens. So the poet actually in the last lines, these are the last lines of the poem. So here the poet introspects himself and says that from where the animals got those good qualities. He further questions himself that where his own good qualities are gone, where he has left all those qualities, because he also as a human being just cries for whatever he has lost and whatever he could not get, right? And he also sometimes boasts about the things which he has got. So he wanted to know here that when he was doing the introspection, that he is saying that where his qualities has gone, right? And in the next line, did I pass that very huge time ago and negligently drop them? And negligently means here, that means what? Carelessly. So did he is asking that did he left them or had carelessly lost them somewhere, because he has been so busy in the materialistic world. And the qualities that were found in the human beings in the past, like innocence, kindness, truthfulness, and that is not seen in human beings now, but that is seen where? That all the qualities like innocence, kindness, truthfulness, all that is seen in animals only. So he wonders that the humans gave up these qualities and they have been passed on to the animals. That's why the animals are so that's why he is liking the animals, not the human beings. So if we will talk about the rhyming scheme of that poem, so this is what? This is free verse. There is no rhyming scheme followed in this poem. So this was, dear students, this was the explanation of the poem. I hope you understood this well. I'll advise you to just write down the explanation of the poem line wise in your notebook, so that you can remember this for examination, because this explanation, poetic devices, these are very important for your examination purpose. So if we will talk about the the moral of the poem, so that is what? Love and compassion is the real token of peace and harmony that we need to learn from the selflessness of animal. So we have learned this only, right? And actually the poet is turning away from the from living in the world of human beings. So that's why he finds animals more placid and self-contained, and therefore he wants to live with them.